guys, it's Sue here. Welcome back to my channel. How have you guys been? So for today's video, I am going to talk about the new rules of skincare that we must keep in 2020. And no, I am not going to talk about products at all. I won't be mentioning a single product. So let's get this video started right away. Our new goal for our skincare for the new decade 2020 is for our skin to be healthy and independent. We always say that we want that glass skin look, that flawless skin look. However, oftentimes we actually underestimate our skin's capabilities and we don't give it enough time or trust because we're very hasty. We live in a very pali-pali kind of society, you know? So in order for our skin to be healthy, independent, doing its own thing, you know, optimize its function, I believe that our role is to provide a good, safe environment where the skin can flourish and actually perform what it's supposed to do. An example of us trying to interfere with what the skin's trying to do is, for example, stress. Stress actually weakens our immune system, and so it makes the skin even more sensitive, more reactive, and even more harder for it to heal. So that's interruption right there. We're interrupting the skin's role to heal our skin. So the new rules of skincare in 2020 is basically making sure to build a very, very strong foundation for the skin to flourish and become the boss of its own factory. So from now on, I'm going to share with you guys my personal tips in how I try to create a very safe environment for the skin to prosper and flourish. So first, we're going to tackle stress. I think stress is like everyone's enemies nowadays, including our skin, no joke. Especially for me, because stress is actually the sole cause of my hormone acne on my chin. It's a very strong predictor. I can actually predict if I'm going to have acne, like breakouts or not, depending on how stressed I am. The funny thing is though that stress itself is not actually a bad thing. I'm a psych student, so I studied this at school. Yes, you're welcome. But basically, stress is a factor that causes physiological or mental tension, and it causes that fight or flight response from our bodies. And actually, we need stress in order to survive. It's just a signal telling us that we need to do something in order to increase our level of survival. So without feeling stressed, we'd all be dead by now, really. However, as we come to the modern society, stress itself has gotten a very, very negative connotation. But it's actually how we react to stress and how we stress out about stress that causes all these negative side effects. Just to name a couple of side effects, negative side effects of what stress does to our skin. First of all, inflammation. Second, it interferes with the wound healing process. Third, increases the level of the cortisol hormone, aka the stress hormone, which increases the sebum production, hence making it very plausible for more acne to occur. For now, let me share with you guys my personal tips on how to tackle stress. First of all, breathe, relax. Second, it's really good to know your remedy when you're stressed out. For me, it's working out and taking nice walks, strolls in the evening. If you don't have a remedy when you're stressed out, my tip is be patient. A lot of people actually don't know what to do when they're stressed out. And so my advice for you is to try out as many things as possible. Anything that you're remotely interested in, anything you actually like. So be patient with yourself and take your time. Like even for me, I just discovered last year that boxing and yoga was my way to deal with stress. So for the rest of my 26 years, 27 years of my life, I just didn't know how to cope with stress. And so if you don't know yet, don't panic. But little by little, try to figure out what's your thing, you know? My second tip when it comes to dealing with stress is the more ways you know how to tackle stress, the better. So like the more solutions, the better. Because sometimes some remedy or some method is not accessible. Like for myself, I can't suddenly like work out and do boxing when I'm at an event or when I'm just outside. It's just not possible. So in times like that, I resort to other methods like breathing or maybe like talking to a friend. The second thing that I think is very important when it comes to building a very strong foundation for our skin to flourish is sleep. Guys, please get some sleep in 2020. Sleep is basically the time when our body recovers, including our skin. And so if you don't get enough sleep, you will notice that your skin texture feels way more rough. For me, when I don't get enough sleep, my skin will literally spit out all the skincare and makeup. It won't settle, it won't absorb. It's just not negotiable. Also, a lot of people ask me all the time what products to use when it comes to hyperpigmentation, when they want to treat dark spots. And my answer is always sleep. Please get some sleep. And it's not about getting a lot of sleep, it's also about going to sleep early, because a doctor once told me that even though you're getting the same 8 hours of sleep, sleeping at 12 o'clock at midnight and like 4 o'clock in the morning, that will drastically change the quality of your sleep. And as a matter of fact, he mentioned that if you sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and even though you technically did get 8 hours of sleep, the quality of the sleep that you got only equates to 4 hours of sleep. So my very realistic and personal tip for when it comes to going to bed early or getting up early, I think you have to get up early in order to go to bed early. Be very specific and use very instinctive methods, like methods that rely on your instincts. Like, I cannot do the whole self-motivation talk in the morning. Like, I can barely remember my name. Like, I have no mentality for that. So you guys know I am a huge foodie. I love to eat. Like, I would like to change my last name to foodie, please. So what I'll do is I will save a really, really good meal. I know this sounds silly, but it works. So I will save a really, really good meal, and I'll cut down a portion of my dinner so that by the time I wake up, I'll be pretty hungry. The next morning when I wake up, I am just like up. Before even the alarm is set, I'm just like, where's that breakfast? So it works for me. It's very instinctive. I don't need to really think and give myself that let's seize the day talk. No, let's be realistic, guys. Another method that relies on your instinct is drinking a lot of water before you go to sleep, so that by the time you wake up, you wake up because you need to go to the bathroom. Now be careful with this, because sometimes you will end up like waking up in the middle of the night, and that's not what we want. So make sure to drink just a tad bit than you would. The third thing that I'm going to focus this year to make sure that my skin is healthy is eating healthfully. Now this was always something that I had struggled with, because you guys know I love eating like delicious food, like the unhealthier the better. But recently, due to a couple of unexpected events, I totally changed my mindset, and I am actually eating way healthier. And if you guys have watched my recent workout vlog, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you haven't yet, definitely go check that video out, because it's very interesting. Now, there's no journal or study that actually states that there is a direct relation between our diet and our skin, but a lot of studies suggest that there's an indirect relation, and that our diet can have an effect on our skin. For example, high glycemic diet, like, you know, foods such as hamburger, pizza, white bread, like pasta, everything that's delicious, really. This kind of diet will actually increase the level of glucose, or the sugar levels in their blood, which induces more sebum production, which can eventually lead to more acne. So let me share a couple of tips that really help me to eat healthy. The first one is drop the notion that healthy food equals disgusting food. This is definitely a stereotype that I used to carry up until like 2 weeks ago, because I used to think, you know, when you think of healthy food, you think of like celery sticks, carrots, all that nasty stuff. But I realized that healthy food doesn't mean it has to be nasty. It could be delicious. I recently started making my own salad bowls, like huge salad bowls, including stuff that I love: salmon, shrimp, poached eggs, is that right? Mushrooms as well. So there's a lot of healthy food, and it's really about the way you cook the meal. So I completely changed my notion. I love eating my salad bowls, and as a matter of fact, it's so delicious that the rest of my family keep eating as a side dish. Drop that notion and get creative, and think about what you really love that's actually healthy. My second tip is try to redial or refocus and change your perception of why you're eating healthy. I think for me, it used to be harder for me to eat healthier because it felt like an obligation, because my goal was to be thinner and to be prettier. And I think when your goal is based on something a bit superficial, it doesn't feel as rewarding or fulfilling, and the effect doesn't last very long. Whereas now I like to think that I am eating healthy because I want to get stronger. So it carries a lot more purpose. It does not feel like an obligation at all. And I just think that I'm just investing in myself. I'm investing all these good things in my body so that I could release better output, more content for you guys, better editing, having more energy to get inspired, building up my stamina so I can execute a lot of things throughout the day, getting a lot more things done. So I really changed the way I think, and it has helped a lot. The last one, you guys probably guessed it, is working out. I have been working for quite some time now, and of course I don't think anyone will doubt the benefits of working out. Working out not only benefits your physical health, but it also improves your mental health so much. It improves your self-esteem, puts you in a better mood, improve body image, increase satisfaction with self. The list goes on and on and on. My first tip when you want to start working out is make sure to find a gym or just a separate space that's close by. My gym is within walking distance, 5 minutes, the gym that I usually go to. And it doesn't have to be a gym. It can just be like a park outside or like a little space where you can be a little active without interfering with like other people. Also, there are a lot of people who actually tell me that they find sports or like working out extremely boring. And my advice for those people is to try out as many different sports as possible. I honestly think that there is a sport for everyone and everyone has different tastes when it comes to sport. My last tip for working out is very similar along the lines of eating healthy, but try to redirect and refocus on why you're working out. For me, like I said, a lot of my workouts had a very superficial reasons, like I want to be slender and I want to be perceived more acceptable by the society, which is silly because I'm already perfect as the way I am, right? Sorry. But now my focus of working out is to become stronger. Yes, I have these extreme, very hard goals that I'm very, very proud of. I show them off like all the time. It does get on people's nerves, but I'm still proud of them. And it just makes me want to work out more. Like, let me get pumped up because I want more muscles and work out with intention, like really good intentions. And I think that would really help you motivate yourself to work out. So yeah. All right, guys, I've talked about the ways to make sure to build a very, very sturdy foundation, background, environment so that our skin can do its thing. And I just think that we need to be really patient with our skin and kind of give it the attention and the time and the trust that it deserves. Let me know what are some tips that you guys have to implement more of a healthy lifestyle, or maybe a tip resonated well with you. Let me know what it was. Enjoy. Don't forget to press like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next. Ciao. La, 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 la. Blah, 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 blah. I'm having a major brain fart right now, guys. Can you guys tell? I can't get past this point. It does a good job. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? External, not exterior. Jeez, focus. Stress actually, I think I just spat on the camera. I'm sorry.